My friends at Sweetwater have challenged me to build the best studio possible for under $5,000. And I have, of course, accepted. It turns out they are having a giveaway from now until November 24th, where you can win your wish list for up to $5,000. So if you're looking to build or upgrade your studio, click the link below and enter. Okay, so I'm signed into my account. Okay, let's start off with our interface. So if you've watched any of the videos, you know that we are big fans of Audient. In fact, there is one sitting over there. And I've done a couple of videos using them. So I'm going to select an Audient ID44, which is 699 whopping bucks. Why am I selecting this? Because I like the sound of it. It sounds really good. It's got 4 mic pre's. But I'm also going to expand it with an ASP800. Now let's go to an Audient ASP800. So why am I doing this? Because if I was starting again from scratch, which I think what this 5K challenge is, I want to put together a studio that I can record live instruments, which means drums. And I have a drum kit in there, a Ludwig, and I record it. And actually, I use pretty inexpensive microphones in most of the situations. I have the Lewitts of the overheads. I have a 57 on the snare. I have a Lewitt on a kick. It's pretty inexpensive. So far we have 2 items in the cart. And the ASP800 is going to allow us to record 8 inputs, and the ID44 will get us 4. So that gives us 12, more than enough to record a drum kit, and quite frankly, a live band. In a small studio like mine, it's perfect. I can go kick, snare, overhead, hat if I want, and toms if I want to get 2 toms. So there's 7 there, leaving 5 more to do lead vocals or scratch vocal, guitar, bass, maybe stereo keys or another guitar. The point is I could track a live band with just that 12 input system. And I love the Audient mic pre's. I think they sound great and the gear's affordable and it's easy to use. We've taken $1,500 of our budget already, but we got a 5K budget. Okay, what else am I going to need? I'm going to go for some speakers, and I'm also going to go for some headphones. You might be surprised. Well, maybe you won't be surprised. I'm going to go for the Kali LP6s. Why is that? Look behind me. Kali LP6s. And oh, they have them in white as well. Lovely. I thought we were going to keep the ones in white. We had to send them, didn't we? Anyway, so big fan. And who wouldn't be a big fan? They sound fantastic. And they are, well, $300 for a pair, $299 or $298. So just added those as well. We use them, we love them, they're affordable. So that's keeping our budget down a bit, because there's going to be a couple of things that might raise it up a little bit. I'm not sure about the headphones. As I said the headphones, I'm thinking, you know, I could definitely mix on those. Headphones would allow me to check. Let's put the headphones on the back burner. Okay. Now, let's go for a full set of mics. Now, I did search for some mics that I use, and they're not actually listed here. So I'm going to go for some other ones that I've used that I love. And that would be the Shure drum mic kit. Those of you may have watched our full breakdown we did, where we recorded with every single beautiful microphone you could imagine at Sunset Sound, all the 67s and 47s and 251s and you name it, and we put them up against, some Shure microphones. And the drum kit one, so the Shure drum mic kit, selected here. Look at this. The PGA drum kit 7 is $499. It's a 7-piece drum microphone package with Shure PG52, 3 56s for the toms, which is great, a pair of PG81s, and the PGA 57, which I'm assuming is kind of their budget 57. So I'm going to add that to it. And that will cover most situations. I'm now going to add an old favorite. I'm going to do, seeing as we're in the Shure world, I'm going to add an SM57. Why do you ask? Well, it's a great snare mic. It's also a great guitar amp mic, and I use it all the time. There are other dynamics, tons of ones. In fact, every company I know makes a really good dynamic. This is the one that my ear is familiar with, and frankly, so is yours. So we're going to add that in. So we'll add the 57 in. $2,444. So we're just under halfway there. Not bad. You know, I don't know about the cables. I don't know whether they're going to want me to add the cables. Maybe anybody else add the cables, Eric? One person added cables. Okay. So maybe I should do that. Seeing as we're going to put together a sort of, you know, a home studio that could make albums. That's what this is. Okay. What are we missing? Well, we're missing DAWs. We're missing, but one thing before we get to that, one thing we are missing that's absolutely huge is a vocal mic. Now, let me have a quick look here. As you know, there's a couple of old favorites of mine that aren't here, but here's the 2020. Wow, it's only $119. That's pretty ridiculous. Wow. Okay. Okay, let's get making me think. Let's go to the 80, 40, 50. What have they got those for? $699. That's a pretty amazing vocal mic. Let me tell you about the Audio-Technica 4050. Those of you that have followed me will know what I'm about to say. When I was making the second Frey record, I had got them to buy one of those for them for doing their demos. And when we came to make the album, we rented a whole massive mic package, like everything you could imagine at their home studio. Well, their own studio, not home. It was in a separate building. And so we had, you know, 47s, a 48, 67s, you know, everything you can imagine, Coles. And one of those things, of course, was a FET 47. And they didn't have a full-time bass player. So I had the FET 47 on the kick drum, and it sounded great. But when the bass player came to play, because we were recording everything as live as possible, I had to make a choice. What do I do with that FET 47? Do I take it from the kick drum and put it on the flip top or not? So I decided to do that. It was Dan Rothschild. He's an incredible bass player. I wanted him to have the FET 47 because in my opinion, that was a great mic. So I took the FET 47, put it on the flip top. Dan plugged in. God bless it. Off we went. I took the 4050, which was the, you know, cheaper vocal mic, and put it in place of the Neumann FET 47. It was amazing. I schnizzle you not. It sounded better than the FET on the kick drum. It gave me all that Bonham air on the outside head, or the oof. It sounded freaking awesome. I didn't even touch the mic pre or anything. We plugged it in, I walked back into the controller, and Ben started. I took it off mute, and I was just blown away. And so that's how we made the rest of the record, with that on the outside kick mic. And I do remember when Michael Brower mixed it, him complimenting that sound, and when I told him it was a $699 microphone, he was pretty blown away. So, moral of that story is it's a freaking awesome mic. It was great on vocals. Isaac sung the demos on it. Some of those became keepers. It's a great mic. In it goes. Wow, so where are we now? $3,143. We're pretty close though. We're pretty close. We've got our ID44 and our ASP800. So we've got all the inputs that we need to record a band live. Great. We've got a pair of Cali speakers. We've got the drum kit microphones. We've got a 57. And we've got an Audio-Technica 4050. We could, for the bass, just stick with the DI, or we could get another microphone. Why don't we get ribbon microphones? I'm on Royer here. Royer, as you may know, have a new mic. It's called the R10. Well, new-ish the last couple of years. And we reviewed it, and we used it to record some guitars, and I frankly love it. So, this gives us a whole different flavor. This gives us something that we don't have from any of the other microphones. It could be a mono room mic. It could frankly be a guitar mic. If we pulled it back a couple of feet, it could be really good on a bass amp. We can also, of course, plug the bass straight into the direct input on there. Okay. We've got two more things to get. We've got to get the DAW. If we get Pro Tools, which I use, it's not going to be cheap. So let's just say I want to use that. I don't know if I'm allowed to cheat. Not that I think it's cheating. I could get the monthly Pro Tools. It's $34. If you've been watching any of my videos recently, you'll notice I've been mixing a lot of stuff in my Mixing Basics series using stock plugins. And if I was getting going, I would go for stock plugins, and then I would get some subscriptions, which is super cheap. Mac DSP, as I'm sure you know, have subscriptions now, and I use their plugins all the time. Waves always do great deals. You could cherry pick a couple of Waves plugins, like the R-Bass, like the MV2. You mix that with some stock EQs and stock compressors and some Mac DSP, throw in an L2, I'm making records. Those are the things, those are the ones that I love. MV2, R-Bass, L2. And then stock EQs can do most of the jobs. Go buy the Klang helm, it's like 27 bucks. The point is that you can cherry pick a handful of things because Pro Tools comes with a lot of really, really good plugins. So let's risk that. I'm gonna go Pro Tools and see what comes up. You see, 75 Avid plugins free. See, can I cheat? It's $34.99 a month. Can I do that? Can I do that? Am I allowed to do that? If I do that, it saves our budget. There's a reason why they do the $35 a month deal. It's because it's going to save your budget. I'm looking. See, look at all those plugins that come. That's great. Look. All of these great plugins. SansAmp, I use that every day. The Deverb I use every day. Those are all stock and they all come. Ooh. So, I mean, 1 year at $35, I mean, that's only like 400 bucks. Can I do that? No? Yes? Okay, it says $35, but we'll pretend we're buying it over a year. Okay, so I'm gonna have to keep that down by about $300 or so from our total. I know I'm cheating. I know I am. But I need to get a couple more things. I don't think I'm cheating. I think getting the monthly bundle is the way to go. That's what I would do. I would not spend $1,000 on the DAW when I've got a monthly option. And maybe if I started making money from this equipment that I was buying and I wanted to own it outright, then I would. But I think the subscription's the way to go. But like I said, I'm going to assume we're going to round it up to that year. You know, okay. Am I cheating? I don't know. Maybe. Headphones. We need headphones. If we're trying to set up to record a band live, we're going to need some headphones. And we're going to need them to be good sounding and affordable. The 280s are nice, the Sennheisers. The MD 7506s. Price drop, $89. Click. These are an industry standard. Where I grew up in the UK, the Bayer DT100s were industry standards. I moved over here and everybody was using the Sony 7506s. $89.95. I'm going to get 5 pairs because I'm going to have me and 4 members of a band. And now I have $449.75 worth of headphones. Okay, this is getting close. So should I get all the cables? So mic cables. I'm going to need 7, 8 for the 57, 9 for the vocal mic, 10. So we need 10 cables. Proco, take some mic cables, 20 foot. Proco, 10 foot. How big's my studio going to be? Mogami, which are good quality. 10 foot is 49, 15 is 54.95. I think I'd probably go with that. So we're going to get 10 of those. We're going to get close. So 10 15-foot mic cables. It's probably going to be enough in most situations in a small studio. 4,676. So we round that up a little bit. Okay. You know what I would do now? I'd get on the phone with Sweetwater. Hello, Sweetwater. I'm buying all of this equipment. I need some cables. Do me a deal. Okay, so we've got all the mic cables. Mic stands. On Stage Euro Boom microphone stand 3-pack, $69. On Stage Euro back, 3-pack bundle with 3 mic cables. You know how I was saying I was probably going to change my mind a lot? Okay, so I've got overhead, tom. Those are all larger boom stands. So I need 4. And then I've got shorter boom stands, or I could probably get away. Maybe I get 6 of those because I could probably use that on the at least on the hi-hat, maybe the snare. So I should get 6 of those. So we're going to change our order. I told you I'd do this in real time. I like this challenge. So what's going on here is I've got 6 more affordable mic cables, and I've got 6 mic stands for my drum kit. Also, vocal mic. So I got the vocal mic, hi-hat, tom, overhead. That's 6. 5 on the drums. So now I need a smaller boom for the kick and 1 for the snare. And we've got that covered. And maybe 1 spare. I'm going to take these mic cables down to 4 on that. So now we're going to do, let's go back to mic stands. See if we can find some inexpensive booms. Okay, on stage, bass drum, boom combo. It looks like that's my best. So that's my kick drum. It's a good stand. I own one of those already. I know it works. Mic stands. Back to mic stands. I want something for my snare. So this says tripod style bass drum and amp mic stand. That might be a little low. Oh, here you go. Drum arm tripod with boom here. This looks more snare-like. Yep, that will do the job. And maybe 1 for our electric guitar. Which is going to be, ooh. You know, I almost feel like I want to go back to that. Get 2 of those. Because those are affordable. So I'm actually going to go back to the, this is what you do. You sort of look at it and you go, hey, this is cool. I could get this, I could get that. Oh, that's more affordable. Let's do it that way. Okay, let's go through what we have. Okay, we have an Audio ID44, 4 inputs, with expansion for ASP 800. So now I have 12 inputs with mic pre's. So I'm good there. Got a pair of Cali speakers for $300. We use them already. We love them. That's a no-brainer. We've now got enough mics to mic up a drum kit. Great. We've got a spare 57 needed to put on the snare top, or probably more likely to put on the electric guitar. We've now got a large diaphragm condenser mic for the lead singer, a great one, Audio-Technica 4050. We've also got a ribbon, an R10 ribbon microphone, which could be a guitar amp mic. It could also mic a bass amp if it's pulled back a little bit for the SPL. Really nice sounding mic, mono room mic. Just frankly, it's fun to have a ribbon mic, especially an affordable one in your arsenal. Then we cheated. I cheated. I got Avid Pro Tools, the monthly, because why buy it for a year when I can get it for only $35 a month? Then I got 5 pairs of 7506s, enough for a 4-piece band and a pair for me to mix on, listen, and monitor. Great. Then I got 4 really nice, high quality cables, which could be my vocal mic, could be overheads, could be pianos. And then I bought these combos here, this combo of 2 sets of 3 mics and 3 stands. That's going to give me overhead, tom, hi-hat, vocal mic. Then I've got 2, about to do it now, 2 shorter stands, one for the guitar amp or one from the snare top, and then I've got one for the kick drum. And that brings me to a grand total of $4,729.27. And correct me if I'm wrong, but I can now record a band. You know what? You know what we should do? We should go back to mic stands and we should get one, wasn't thinking properly. See, I like doing this in real time. One higher quality mic stand for the lead vocalist. Something that will take a heavier condenser microphone, so maybe that's where we just slightly splash out a little bit more. We got these affordable mic stands, this great package here for $144, including cables. Very smart, thank you very much, Sweetwater. But let's just see if we can just blow it a little bit more. I do a 12-pack bundle here, 12 mic cables and stands, although all of the stands look like, yeah, I think it's not the right combinations of stuff, but that's pretty tempting. That'd be tempting if I had a commercial studio and I wanted to get into a lot. If I was maybe recording a small, like if I was doing orchestra dates and stuff like that. Okay, so let's find a higher quality. See, there's a hex bass studio boom stand, which is nice. There's the Atlas one. I like Atlas stands. I've had them before. They're really good. There's the Gator Frameworks, which is nice. Still looking. Still looking. K&M. Oh, Koenig and Mayer. Such good stands. Really good stands. Really good stands. This one here is $79. It's got a price drop on it. That's a nice stand. I'm seduced by the high quality German stand. Okay. Okay. All right. We've come in under budget. We wanted to come in under budget because we wanted to be able to say, okay, everybody, we admit that we're buying a monthly on it, and this would be enough, hopefully, to cover a year. Okay. Now, I don't have the cables, but I don't know what comes with the speakers or the audience. I know the audience have the ability to connect everything. We may have to get cables for the speakers. Okay, Eric has informed me that the Callies take balanced TRS cables in the back. So we're going to go TRS cable. Step 1, what kind of cable are you looking for? Speaker, guitar, instrument, MIDI, patch, insert, snake, other. Oh, I see. Okay. So I suppose patch. Choose connector. Oh, this is interesting. I like this. Good job. TRS, quarter. There it is. Quarter-inch straight. Yes. Wow. 10-foot. Proco, balanced patch cable, 10-foot. I'm going to put 2 in. There we go. We're going to go back and we're going to look for the ADAC cable to connect it. So, okay, other. Nice. Okay, Firewire, RCA. This is good. You better have a light cable because you're impressing me, Sweetwater. Don't blow it by not having the cable that I want. Firewire, HDMI, USB. I don't see it. Schnizzle. Oh, wait there. Is it the Toslink? Yeah, that's what it is. You do have it. Okay, so they have a 2-foot one. You think that's going to be enough to connect between the two of them? 2 feet? Why don't we get 5 feet just in case? Now we have the cable connecting the ASP800 with the ID44, and it's 5 feet, so if you want it a little bit further away. I think we covered all the bases. Yes. Okay.
But maybe you can find a deal with the pop filter that has the...
Pop filter. We forgot about the pop filter. There's one for $16. That's the one I'm taking because it's $16. SC Electronics make a good one. I've used that. That's really good. I've also used the cheap one. And it's probably what we've been, oh no, we're using something that's sort of medium priced. I think it might be the Gator. I think we have one of those. Or we have one of those curly, wiggly ones. I don't know. This is one of those things, a bit of a minefield. Luckily, they're all about the same price. I don't know if I'm going to spend an hour researching pop filters. Maybe I should, but I'm not going to. Neumann do one that's only $109.95. No. So although we love Neumann, that's a little out of time. SC Electronics, I like that one. I've used that one. Do I bite the bullet and spend the $40 on the SC Electronics one? So tempted, but I'm also tempted to buy the $21 one. I'm getting the SC Electronics one. I've used it. I know it works. It sounds good. Okay, SC Electronics, you win. All right, let's go and look at some Waves plugins. You know what? I'm going to go MV2. It's at $49. Okay, so I just went with one indispensable of all my favorite Waves plugins. I bought the MV2. But if you want to go a little bit out of budget, if you want to go a little bit out of budget, I throw in the R-Bass and the L2, and then everything else stock, and you're done. Not bad for $5,000. You know, 12 inputs, got 7 on the drums. So 7 on the drums. We've got lead vocal 8, electric guitar 9, 10 for bass, 11 if you want to do DI and amp, which is the reason why we got the ribbon mic as well. Pretty good. If you wanted to buy a separate DI box, you could, and may not be necessarily a bad thing to do. But I think at this level, I think you are really smart to just go into the front of the unit for the time being and get that DI box at another time. Now, a lot of units and a lot of bass amps have DI outputs on them. So I don't know what bass amp is going to come in, but that's also an option. So there we go. I mean, a lot of the time you might just plug in the bass anyway, just to the DI. But if they've got a bass amp, you've got that nice ribbon mic there. You've got that nice ribbon mic for other recordings, for doing guitar overdubs, combined maybe with the 57. I think that's it. That's my $5,000 studio. That's it. If I turned up at Sweetwater, pulled up outside, and I was in Indiana, that's what I'd buy. That's what I think is the best selection I could get for the $5,000. I think it's pretty damn nifty. All right, so you can go and do this to enter. There's a link in the description. Click the link in the description and you can go and do the same thing. You can choose the same things as me, or you can choose other things. You may have a different preference in IOs. That's fine. You may have a different preference in microphones. I think my preference in microphones is pretty good. I really do think the selection that Sweetwater have, that the Audio-Technica 4050 is the one I would go for. Yeah. Big fan. Really great mic. Headphones, not sure you can beat anything better at $89 at the moment. And then, yeah, I mean, maybe you don't need to record live drums. And that means that you can open up a whole world of choice in other things if you're not doing live drums. You could spend more time on virtual. But as you know, I do have virtual instrument stuffs, but obviously with Pro Tools, I'm going to have virtual instruments with that. You know, but if you're more in that world, maybe you're going to want to buy like a little keyboard controller. You know, I do have a bunch of keyboard controllers, but maybe you don't and you want a keyboard controller and you can go that way. We are making the assumption, as you probably guessed, that everybody has a computer they're going to run this on. I'm not throwing in a PC or a Mac or whatever into this with a screen. We're going to have to make that assumption that you have a computer and you're buying all the other equipment. But for me, I know this would work. This would work. I would like a couple of other like plugins, but I can deal with them, you know. I can deal without them. It really is very, very close to just making albums. Most of the time, I'm recording 1 or 2 inputs at a time. So I just need that one ability to record drums. And if you're not overloading those pre's and you print it clean, I have proven many, many times, many of us have proven that you can mix those and make them sound phenomenal. Okay, it's a lot of fun. So don't forget to click that link and do the same thing, and you will get entered to win your wish list. You can get pretty creative on what you want your gear wish list to be to complete your home studio for 5,000 whopping dollars. Have a marvelous time recording and mixing. Don't forget to enter. Please leave some comments and questions below. You know what I'd like to know? Just for me, what is your wish list? Tell me what you chose. Tell me down below what you chose. I really would love to know what you chose at Sweetwater. Thank you for Sweetwater for the little challenge. It was a lot of fun. And best of luck to whoever wins this. And if you win, tell me. Maybe I'll get notified. Okay. Bye.